Leading stories, trending topics, changing narratives. You're listening to the Critical Conversations Podcast.
That's right. Welcome back to the Critical Conversations Podcast, everybody. We are back, and it is Black History Month. Such an important time and such a great way to start off the year. I am sitting here with one of Oakton's own. We are so proud today to have a person who is a seasoned leader in higher education. This person focuses on training and development, adult learning, student success. This person is known across the college for their real talk, their real leadership, and their real approach each and every day. And we know this person because they hold a doctorate in adult and continuing education, and they are also the manager of the Career and Transfer Center right here at Oakton. We are welcoming today the great Dr. Adrienne C. Smith, and she is here today to talk about her new book, Sis, Your Slip is Showing. Welcome to the show, Dr. Smith. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah.
This is really exciting, especially, launching it during Black History Month, because the book is focused around Black women, Black conversations, but this could be for anybody with friendships, but we'll get into that later. But I'm excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, good to have you here. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about what you do here at Oakton, a little bit about what led you here, and then we'll get into the book.
Okay.
Tell us about your role here at Oakton.
So I started out as the adjunct in what we call BAPS, was Business and Professional Services. So I teach the management courses.
Y'all called it BAPS?
BAPS. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew.
Yeah. Tracy called it. She named it
large
that.
and taking charge.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
She got a good sense of humor. And so then the opportunity came in the Career and Transfer Center because I have over, 10 years of experience in career, but I have 30-year experience in workforce development. So I do this. Like I know career readiness. I know workforce development. So it's my passion. And so I'm compassionately passionate about helping young people, adults, just kind of find their niche in this world with employment opportunities as well as matriculate onto university. And so the CTC has been reorganized because this is happening over other colleges and universities where career is moving underneath workforce. And so it's a good fit in terms of how we need to, move towards trending times and the needs of the students. Because everybody is not bound to get a degree. Some people just need to get stackable credentials and get employment opportunities. And so it's a good move.
Yeah, I love how you talk about the trending times. Let's stay there for just a second. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing and some more about the changes that are happening and how the CTC is helping students to prepare for that. Because this is a rapidly changing environment, especially with AI and especially with the changing industries that are popping up every day. How is the CTC helping students to get prepared?
Well, we have a ton of things that we're doing. So I teach an AI resume and cover letter workshop. So I'm leaning into helping. I'm a fan of AI, so that's just me.
Yeah.
But I think it's teaching them how to use it in a way that's beneficial for them and use it in a smart way. They love it. They came in, people sign up for it all the time. And so using that AI piece, showing them that. And then we do something called classroom visits. So we go to the faculty to show them all of the different programs and tools that we have available for the students that are free. So they can use the big interview. They can use Focus to Careers. And all of these are platforms that they can use in the privacy of their own home. So they don't even have to come to the center. So we start doing virtual appointments. We start doing 30-minute workshops to, so students can kind of come in between classes. And so just trying to meet the need of the student that is internal. Now, we also, our external partners, working with the community, helping them understand that all the career services that we have, helping them with resume writing, interviewing, we also help the community as well. And so what I'm excited about is that I started a career pathways program where it's about the exit strategy. Post Oakton, what are you going to do when you leave Oakton? So starting with the end in mind, Jesse Ivy called it reverse engineering. So starting with the end in mind. So what job do you want? And then we walk it back from the job you want, what courses you need to take, what degree you need to take. Maybe your track is certificates and not the degree. So putting them in the right spaces and places, making sure they're using their financial aid correctly so they get more bang for their buck. And so I think that we are doing a great job getting the students prepared. We did needs assessment to make sure that the services and workshops that we provide for them is something they really care about. And we're not just doing classes for the class's sake. And so we start doing CTC on the go. So we start coming down to Student Street to meet the students there and work with the Student Life Center to make sure that, we have that access to students. So we did a lot of different programming that increased our engagement to 85% and improved our visibility.
Wow. I love that. I love the metrics. I also want to uplift Coffee and Tea with the CTC, an event that I think also helped to bring people in as well. So that's great. It sounds like a lot of great things are happening. Speaking of great things, let's get into this book. So Dr. Smith, tell us a little bit about the book. I want to hear about the synopsis and what's behind it, but I am also very interested in hearing about this title. Yes. I was blown away by the title. Tell us about the book and then tell us what led to this really unique title that I think is going to help to really bring people in. Talk to us.
The book title, Assist Your Slip is Showing, is a bold guide to ending toxic friendships and choosing yourself. So one of the things that I do in the book is I explain that because it's Black speak, right? So a slip in Black culture is very, intimate.
Let me cut it. Black speak, is that like, I know what it is, but for the listeners, what do you mean by that? Is that like Ebonics? Is that just the way we talk to each other?
How we understand things. So how we understand different nuances. And so when we talk about a slip, that's old school. Like probably many of the listeners might not even know what a slip is, but a slip is an undergarment that protect your clothes so you don't see through your clothes. And so when I was growing up, that's a word right there. Right. So that was very important. And so growing up and, being told, as a young lady, you should have these specific undergarments to, be ladylike. And so it's also when your slip is showing, that's unladylike, so it's to pull your coattail like, ooh, you kind of out of bound right there. Let me call you in to help you get together so you can look appropriately, for the lack of a better word. So when I started writing the book, that just came to my mind that I'm basically, when writing this book, is I'm telling my sisters, your slip is showing. And so my responsibility to you is to help call you in. Now, as I started writing the book, it also became a call yourself in. Like, is your slip showing? So as I started progressing through the book, it was like not just telling somebody else their slip showing, but is your slip showing too? So as I started writing, it changed. So we moved through the book in terms of like healing for yourself and holding yourself accountable as well as holding your sister accountable.
Wow. Talk about your writing process. How did you get into the zone? When did the inspiration hit you? Did you write every day? Tell me a little bit about how you got from end to end with this process.
So the writing wasn't linear. It was layered like healing is. And so I started by journaling the pain first. So when I first came back from Costa Rica, when this whole thing happened, I'm a spiritual person. So the Spirit of the Lord told me to write down the chapters. So I wrote the chapters down first before I had even words to describe what was going to go in them. And then I left it alone. He told me to walk away from it. So left the chapters on, because this book started in 2017. I just finished it because when I start writing, it brings up the hurt again. So I will have to stop writing because I will experience it all over again. So I had to pause. And I remember my best friend, God rest her soul, she said, when I gave her the chapter, she was like, oh, sis, you got to write this book because people need to know when they're out of pocket with friendships. You got to write this book. And so I would take it a chapter at a time. And so then I got writer's block, and my son said, Mom, you should start reading the type of books that you are thinking about writing so that it can help give you some information about that process. So I wound up reading Will's book. And so that book was, it was really powerful. And what I learned is at the end of his book, he gives like these little nuggets, if you will. So he didn't call it that, but that's what I decided to do, that at the end of each chapter, I would give a nugget. And so I give nuggets and I give a prompt.
And this is Will
Smith.
Okay, yep.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And so I read that too, and it was really impactful. The way he wrote it felt like you were talking to him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, and so that's what I liked about it. And so I added that, and then I previously so I got stuck again, and I wound up coming across this creator, and she was saying that when you get stuck, to use that energy to do something else. So I created a journal. And so the journal is called The Fuckery. It's a adult journal for venting. It has 10 snarky prompts and then affirmations throughout. And so that really, was a really fun thing to do. And so what I learned about my writing style is really around journaling. So at the end of each chapter is not only a nugget, but there's also prompts. And then there's 2 pages at the end, one with lines called slip notes, and then the other one is slip sketches. So sometimes you could just kind of do a prompt, write what you felt, what the chapter brought to you, or you might want to draw. I learned that too. Like everybody don't want to express their feelings with words. Sometimes they express their feelings by writing things, like drawing rain or drawing boxes or coloring, So whatever that brings. And so I created a framework called SHIP. And it was funny because me being a Delta, people would think that I got that from there, but I didn't. Like, I understood like what a shit was about, a long time ago. And so I took friendship, that last part, and I built a framework around it. And so it reflects different aspects of what friendship should be. So the first one I'll share is support, honesty, integrity, and patience, and so on. And so each part reflects how I've grown and what I've let go of. And so that's one of the chapters is my ship, and showing the different ways how I've experienced it and how other people can experience it as well.
Support, honesty, integrity, and patience in the context of friendship.
Yep.
You mentioned Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Tell me a little bit about, that's right, you represent. Shout out to Divine Nine. Tell me a little bit about how that experience may have helped in this process as well. Would you say that your time in the sisterhood may have had an impact on your writing or some of the ideas that came about?
No, not a whole lot. Like because I understood sisterhood, I would say that it prepared me really well for when I was interviewing to be a part of it. So I understood what sisterhood is about, and it's the core of Delta. And so writing this and then understanding the impact and the power behind it, I knew that I could answer that question, and I knew that I would be a great fit for that organization because of how I understand sisterhood and friendship and how those things kind of work together.
Yeah. Let's talk about impact to Oakton. Now, taking it back to, your work and you work very closely and directly with students. And tell me about how this book can impact Oakton students. And then let's talk a little bit about what you feel this book can do to help the employee experience as well. But let's start with the student experience first. How can this book help for students to navigate their time here at Oakton?
So the themes of the book reflect my philosophy in every space I show up in. So especially in higher ed and my community-based work. So whether it's coaching students through transition, supporting alumni, creating empowerment events for community members, it all comes down to this: helping people move forward with purpose and self-trust. And so I may no longer be doing the work under the title of career and transfer, but the mission hasn't changed. And so the book and my work, it move in the rhythm. So it both creates space for people to reflect, pivot, and grow in ways that honor their full selves.
Yeah. And I can sense, and this is really not a shameless plug, it's just I'm intimately familiar with our strategic plan, building just and thriving communities, and I can sense there are some real connections there, especially in terms of empowering workforce development and training, but also understanding racial equity. You talked about Black Speak, you talked about the ways in which we communicate, and then from a larger level standpoint or an expanded standpoint, how this can also translate to a number of different identities. I really do think it is something that connects at Oakton. And the reason I put that in this conversation is for the listener to understand the connections that can be made, even if you don't see it on its face, right?
Absolutely.
Even if you don't look at the book and go, oh, that's an Oakton book, that's okay. How can students still see themselves and hear their own voices in the conversations that you're providing frameworks for?
And it's just talking about relationships, right? So the students are here relating to each other in organizations and clubs. And so just learning how to listen to each other and support each other. So this absolutely can transcend in those spaces because it's just about relationships. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I love that. I got one final question for you. Can you tell us, what do you ultimately want people to learn? You touched on this a lot, but tell me about the one or two key takeaways that readers can experience when they pick this up.
Well, key takeaway I want the readers to have is that you are not too sensitive. Your feelings are valid. Not all relationships are meant to last forever. And grief in those breakups is real. People need to understand that a friendship breakup is just as powerful as any breakup. Boundaries are not mean. They are maintenance. And peace is worth more than proximity, right? So you have to choose yourself. And it's okay to be the one who changes. Like, sometimes you just outgrow people, and it's okay. And be comfortable walking away from those relationships, right? Or also calling that person in and letting them know that, love me where I am now.
Oh, man, that's what I'm going to have to read. That you talking about some of my, former friendships. Good people that I've just moved on from.
Yeah.
And then the idea of loving me where I am now.
Yeah.
This might sound like I hope this isn't weird, but I'm a hip hop head. It reminds me of the story of A Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, I love that. That's my point.
4 friends that essentially outgrew each other, and had to learn how to come back to each other. And, some of that pain had to be repaired through growth that took place from the separation. And fans like me, of course, heartbroken, but I understand how that sort of friendship breakup was needed in order for them to all grow as individuals. And so just it sounds like a really powerful book that's focused on friendship, relationship, but I love the context in which you put it because it does make it very unique. It's not just friendship in general. It's also unique and specific to people that have a shared identity. And I'm grateful to hear that you're doing it.
Yeah. And so in the book also, because what I didn't mention is that the catalyst was an experience in Costa Rica during Hurricane Harvey where I was literally and emotionally left behind. The moment cracked open years of buried disappointment and questions about loyalty, my voice, and visibility. And so there's actual stories that I'm sharing, anecdotes of stories that I'm sharing to, so I say, I'm not telling people my business for the sake of telling my business. I'm telling my business to make a point.
I'm telling your story.
Right. And so I'm telling you this because I want you to grow and learn and do better than I did, or learn from my experience to know that you can forgive people. You can. Some people you won't. You forgive them and then you move on. So forgiving them is you being able to let them go and move on. So the forgiveness is for you. People think that they're forgiving that person, but it's really for you to move on.
Yeah. And to forgive yourself as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Let me ask you all the album questions. When does it drop? When is it coming out? When can we copy it? Is there a ebook? Tell us about where can we get our hands on this excellent piece of literature?
Yeah,
you got
so
here?
Sis Your Slip is Showing is a bold guide to ending toxic friendships and choosing yourself. It's dropping in February. I'll be doing some community events in Evanston. I'll be doing some things on the South Side. So I will be letting folks know on my Facebook page. Also, go and subscribe to www.sisyourslipishowing.com and subscribe to that to make sure when the book drops that you get first dibs.
That's right.
And get you a signed copy.
All right. I'm going to need one myself.
Yes.
I'm going to need one myself. Folks, you're listening to the great Dr. Adrienne C. Smith, one of Oakton's gems. We love you. We love having you here. And we appreciate you for taking this step. Writing a book is hard. I've written two. And you reminded me of how painful it was to write my dissertation because of the emotional weight that it carried. And so it is, it's not something you just jump up and do. Even with all of the different tools and tips you can use to your disposal, it's still a difficult thing to tap into. So kudos to you.
100%.
Blessings to you in this next venture. And I want a signed copy.
Yes.
In the words of the mother off of the 5 Heartbeats, I want a gold record. I knew you would get that.
Thank you,
everybody. We'll talk to you on the next episode of Critical Conversations. Dr. Smith, take care.
Thank you. Bye.
The Critical Conversations podcast is recorded at Oakton College, located at 1600 East Gulf Road, Des Plaines, Illinois. The show is sponsored in part by the Oakton College Educational Foundation, produced by Erick Rohn, coordinated by Brenda Cruz, and hosted by Dr. Rick Daniels. For more information or to connect with us, email critsconpod@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for more Critical Conversations.